Nebraska families who decide what to do, not the government. This vote against 434 and for 439 makes it so our Nebraska doctors can treat every patient. The government put this ban in place, stripping Nebraska families of their freedom, but you can end it with 2 votes. The first against 434, and then vote for 439. Paid for by Protect Our Rights.
Hi, I'm State Senator Beau Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of health care, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Beau Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Hi, this is Investigator Joe Villamonte with the Lincoln Police Union, asking you to vote for Carolyn Bosin for legislator. As a prosecutor, Carolyn Bosin has always supported law enforcement to keep our community safe. Carolyn Bosin has the experience we need. Carolyn Bosin is the only choice for legislator to keep our community safe. Join the law enforcement community in voting to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bosin on November 5th.
Paid for by Bosin for legislature.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today. The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street. Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in to the Dump Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, if you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685 is the Starter Heyman text line. You can put a face to the voice. Use the streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961. You can even watch it on Amazon Video after it's all said and done. With that being said, let's bring in Good morning, Pierson-El. How's it going on a Thursday night?
Good in yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. I got a bye week, and I'll be honest, when it comes to Husker football, that's kind of much wanted at this point.
Much needed.
Much needed. Between my Bears and the Huskers, I just need I can't have two heartbreakers in the same week. I can take one at a time, but it's 3 weeks in a row of just consistent, just punches to the gut. It weighs on the soul a little bit. It made me do some things. I shaved my beard. A little bit of a midlife crisis going on between all the losses, but let's talk about a game that has not kicked off yet. Just about to. Bengals, Ravens. This is a sink your teeth into a Thursday night football game. Rarely do you get great matchups on Thursdays, but this is one of them. Who do you like?
I like the Ravens. The way that they've been operating and whatnot. I like them, but this is a divisional game. We seen them play, a couple weeks ago, and it came down, to the last second. So, and that was on the road for Baltimore. When Baltimore plays at home, they are a little bit different. Their defense is starting to gel, better. They're not right where they were last year, but their defense is still more dominant than the Bengals defense. So I think Lamar and company get it done tonight.
Yeah, this one being in Baltimore, I'll play devil's advocate, but I mainly because I think it's a coin toss. It doesn't hurt me too much to go ahead and pick the Bengals here because I think this game, it's going to be down to the wire. The Bengals, 4-5. Is there any need to panic for the Bengals right now? Especially what they found in Chase Brown. Great running back for him so far. They've kind of replaced Mixon in that way.
I wouldn't say replace.
Well, they got something serviceable.
They got a promising. They're still in it. They're not out of it. They're starting to come together. If they have the ball last, if the offense is out there, they have a chance to win. And majority of the times that the Bengals have beaten Baltimore. I want to say it's actually in Baltimore. So that's a fair assessment for you to take them tonight. But I think the Ravens understand their identity even more on the offensive, and it's whichever you choose to stop or try and take away. Like it's not going to work. They have a sleeping giant on their team that Lamar doesn't even look like what he has been the years prior. Running the ball, being more of a threat with his legs. He has that in his back pocket. So I just don't think it's fair for a lot of teams.
Where are you at with Joe Burrow in his career? I mean, you look at his stats. He's thrown 20 touchdowns, 4 picks. Last year, he finished throwing 38 with only 8 picks. Or excuse me, that's what he's projected for this year. You look at the last season, pretty good ratio as well. But when I look at the Bengals being 4-5 where they're at right now, a lot of it doesn't fall in Joe Burrow's hands.
Not at all. Not remotely close. You went toe to toe with the Chiefs. You went up, and defense didn't close out the game. Same thing, with the Ravens the first time around. He's operating at a high level and everything like that. Joe's thing is just, is he going to be healthy, Joe, this year, or is it going to be, that's the only thing that stops that, and them replacing what they had on defense. They lost a lot of strong key pieces, and we are accustomed to seeing them grind things out, where they lost a number of key pieces on the offensive side, and more importantly, a lot of key pieces on the defensive side. And it's going to take some time. You can't just put all that on him and everything. Brady had great defenses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had fewer options on offense, but he had a defense that was, a top 5, top 3 defense. Joe doesn't have that, and he's been hurt for a little bit in his career. So I mean, I still think highly of him and everything like that. Just has to be consistently healthy to kind of be in that. But I mean, I still got, Mahomes 1, Joe Burrow and Lamar are in the same boat, regardless of, Lamar not going to a championship or whatnot. I think those are the tiers, and then you can put whoever else after that. I don't think Josh Allen is in Lamar's category. Jalen Hurts, not necessarily in Lamar's category just yet. They have other things that Lamar doesn't have, but Lamar has a lot more other things that neither one of them have. So I feel like it's kind of even out.
Yeah, and when I do look at Joe Burrow, last season he was 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. This year, he's already got 2,244 yards in the air, 20 touchdowns, only 4 picks. And we talked about that at the beginning of the year. A lot of these games that they have lost have been against good teams, and just at the very end, whether a field goal or just one mistake on defense where they give up the last touchdown. So for the Bengals, I'm pretty confident they're going to find a way to sneak into the playoffs. There's so much season left.
Yeah.
And they got a brutal schedule, but a lot of it was early on. It's going to get a lot easier for them. And I think they'll start picking up a bunch of games here. But that's something that's interesting to me. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I mean, you knocked out Baltimore, and I don't know if they played the Steelers yet or whatnot, but Cleveland isn't anything. So, I mean, you could have 3 teams, from the AFC North, make it in there. So Baltimore is done and past, and I mean, you still have the matchups against, the other NFC conference and whatnot. So I mean, they're literally in the middle of it.
I agree, and yeah, I think they're gonna be all right finding a way to sneak it, even if the Bengals drop this one. I think they're gonna start cleaning up pretty soon. And again, I know whatever you say about Chase Brown, not Joe Mixon, but just the fact that they're finding that run game again, I think has made that offense look so much better that it doesn't have to fall on the hands of Joe Burrow, who has been a little bit injury prone. I mean, he's just one of those guys, not to the extent of Tua, but you just don't want to see him get hit anymore, especially with an offensive line that has struggled early to protect him. And even this season, there's still not an elite offensive line by any means. He still has quite a few pressures where he's got to find ways to escape. But I want to do this exercise with you and look at the QBRs with QBs. We did this with Barry Thompson and DP once, but it kind of gives you an idea how garbage of a stat QBR can be. But it's also very interesting when you look at it, because sometimes it matches up, sometimes it doesn't at all. And I'm going to give you the bottom tier of the QBR, and then I'm just going to give you the name above them, and you're just going to tell me if you take that quarterback or stay. Can you guess who's got the bottom QBR right now? Who's actively starting in the NFL? Just got the job not too long ago.
Mason Rudolph.
No, breaks my heart. Deshaun Watson. He's sitting there all the way at the right now, the bottom, with a QBR of 22.4 average.
Ouch.
Yeah, that one's tough. Next one above, Will Levis. So the question is, do you move Deshaun Watson? You stay with your guy there, or do you move on and take Will Levis?
Is it in Cleveland's offense, or is it in somebody else's offense?
It's you can pick any offense you want, but that's the quarterback.
Before the injury?
As it stands today.
I'll take Levis. That Achilles is hard to come back from.
Okay, so you got Will Levis. You take Will Levis or Anthony Richardson?
Levis.
All right, so he moves on. Your guy, Gardner Minshew or Will Levis?
I'll take Minshew.
All right, Caleb Williams or Gardner Minshew? Caleb Williams at 27th in QBR with a sizzling hot 41.9.
I'll take Minshew. Caleb got weapons and needs to be doing better. I'll take Minshew.
Yeah, that hurts. I don't blame you. There hasn't been a lot going on. I blame Shane Waldron, but we'll keep it at that. All right, so you got Gardner Minshew or Jacoby Brissett, Patriots?
I'll take Brissett.
Okay, you moved on. So now you've got the 26th guy in QBR, Jacoby Brissett with 45. Dak Prescott or Jacoby?
Jacoby.
So Dak's out already. Daniel Jones or Jacoby?
Jacoby.
Geno Smith or Brissett?
Ooh.
I think you got to move on here.
Yeah, I'll take Geno.
Okay, now it gets even more interesting. Aaron Rodgers right now is all the way down at 22 with a 52.9.
I'll take Aaron.
All right, Aaron Rodgers, you got the 22nd overall QBR as your guy. Bo Nix or Rodgers?
Aaron.
Jordan Love.
Aaron.
Justin Fields.
Aaron.
Andy Dalton.
Aaron.
Justin Herbert.
Aaron. Experience, like healthy with the right offensive line, like Aaron. I don't care.
Especially how the Jets right now, if you watch the last Jets game, they look like they're about to take off here. Devontae Adams finally getting utilized. I'd imagine. I agree. Rodgers' number is only going to go up from here.
It's the potential. You know how the scouts say the potential. It's the potential effect with Aaron. I know what you're getting. I understand he may be a diva. He may be hard to deal with sometimes or whatnot. But he's gonna get you in the game. The games that they lost, I think it's only been maybe one or two games that they got blown out. And I mean it's a whole debacle there. They're just not consistent. But Aaron is doing what majority of the time of what he's supposed to do.
All right, fair enough. So you got Rodgers over Herbert at 17. At 16, CJ Stroud or Rodgers?
Longevity. I'm going CJ.
Baker Mayfield.
I'm taking Baker.
Okay,
I'm taking Baker.
He almost beat the Chiefs.
I'm feeling dangerous. I'm taking Baker all the way.
Jared Goff or Baker Mayfield?
Why you got to put why right after? No.
We're getting in the tough spot. Now these are all going to be outside of a few.
Baker's more exciting.
He's way more exciting.
But you got to go with consistent. Give me Jared. I don't care.
All right. Jared Goff or Sam Darnold of the Vikings?
Jared.
Kirk Cousins?
Jared.
Okay, we're approaching top 10. Number 11, Trevor Lawrence?
Jared.
Matthew Stafford at 10.
Goff.
All right, so Goff slides into the top 10. Derek Carr or Goff?
I hate you.
Derek Carr.
I hate you. I hate you. That's bias. Can we skip over that? That's bias.
So Derek Carr will forever be number 9 on this list. At number 8, Jared Goff or Brock Purdy?
I'm taking Goff.
Okay, moving ahead at 7, Hurts or Goff?
And I can pick the offensive coordinator to put with him.
Yeah, I mean you're just taking a quarterback, putting it into the system you want. With the health status of them today.
I'm going Goff. We've seen, and the only reason why I say that is because if you look at what Jalen has around him, when they're not there, it's different. Mind you, that would be with anybody, but AJ was not there. You still had Smitty, and it didn't necessarily look the same. Saquon's there, taking a lot off. So I'm not trying to take away from his success. I just don't. I'm not so sure if that's very, very beneficial. Now, the opposite with Goff, that run game, he complements that necessarily very well, and I don't need him to necessarily run. So I'm taking Goff.
All right, this is where the wash comes. At number 6, Patrick Mahomes or Jared Goff?
Mahomes.
Okay, Kyler Murray.
Mahomes.
Josh Allen.
Mahomes.
Jaden Daniels.
I'm taking Mahomes.
Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson currently the leader in QBR at 77 flat, which is fantastic to be that consistent.
I would take Patrick over Burrow, and the only reason why is just because of the health issues. I'm taking Lamar over Pat.
Okay, I like that.
I'm taking Lamar over Pat.
I wonder what Lamar Jackson will look like with Andy Reid's offense. Andy Reid just feels like he can cook up a script for anybody. And
you seen it with a I don't want to say a washed Vic, but a veteran Vic. Now give him the modern day Lamar. Oh my goodness.
That's what it would be broken. All right, Lamar Jackson or Derek Carr?
Why do I have to answer this?
Because he's the one man that's unbeaten. Is Derek Carr?
I love DC. I hope he doesn't see this. I'm taking Lamar.
Yeah, and that's all right. I think DC.
I'm taking Lamar.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you pick Joe Burrow or DC, but I'll make you pick Lamar Jackson.
I mean, realistically, like now you say $100 million DC, which broke the record in getting these quarterbacks $100 million. That DC, oh, absolutely yes. I still think he can play, fantastic ball. He can throw it up and down the field. He's smart. It goes with coaching.
Well, and that's what the stats tell you. Like, yeah, I think a lot of people
it's just coaching. So
it's top 10 in QBR, but he plays a clean game.
And you can say, oh, well, it doesn't look great, or people. I got into an argument twice in the past week with people talking about what cars caused him concussions. Time out. Absolutely not. Like, no. It looks that way. That's the narrative. No, if you understand football, now was that the best ball thrown? Probably not at times, but you can't get mad if he gets the ball, if he catches the ball and the guy throws him to the ground and he's, does what Tua does and the ground gives him a concussion. That's not on Carr.
Mm-hmm.
So I like DC a lot. I don't think he gets enough credit, and I think people kind of just hate on him a lot more when he's with Gruden or whatnot. Balling and stuff was flowing. Look at what the Raiders are doing without him. So I mean, I think that says a lot.
Saints at 2-7. Is there any faith to save their season here?
No. You got two dominant teams in the NFC South, but you have dominant play in the rest of the NFC. Like you would need, a miracle for that to happen. Is it possible? I mean, I would say the chances are, under 5% probably, but I think that's too steep of a climb for them versus the climb of the 49ers, the climb of the Eagles, the climb of Minnesota. That climb is way easier than they would have to be. And you got the Falcons that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. But I mean, they're playing some good ball down there, and then you got Baker and the Bucks, slicing and dicing. So I think it's just too much on the chip for them.
Yeah, and I really do. If the Buccaneers have, Mike Evans and Godwin, they probably get that win over the Chiefs. Like, it's just a brutal time to have those injuries, and they're still playing good football. What's the worst situation? And this is the last thing we'll wrap up on this segment. Would you rather be the Carolina Panthers at 2-7 or the Cowboys at 3-5 right now?
I think you would much rather be the Cowboys because you have a lot more star power there. You have a lot more veteran presence. You got stars on both sides of the ball. I mean, this team last year was a 10-plus win team, a playoff team. So the nucleus of it is there. you brought in a new DC and things are still being solved around. But the downfall of that is you dealing with Jerry.
Exactly. And I think
but I mean, that's not, I mean, Taper isn't as talked about in the media like Jerry, but Taper, you can say is 2.0 of that.
That is true.
I mean, they are one and the same. They make the same decisions too early with stuff, bad moves and everything like that. And I mean, it's just so I think for you, the track for Dallas would be easier than the track of the Panthers.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, because the ownership in Carolina, I don't know if it's any better. Like you still got someone who's a little bit too of a micromanager, even though they're at the very top, making calls and then blaming head coaches. The Panthers situation has just been a disaster.
And we about to see what Dallas, is looking like with either a head coach gone. We'll see what's up with the DC. Like, you're going to have to get probably, somebody in there to kind of change, some things up.
An offensive consultant. They can do what Nebraska's doing.
But I mean, your offensive consultant is Jerry. I mean, that's what it is. So I mean, you're dealing with a dictator. Like that's just what it is. Like, you're not, so certain things. It's the Cowboys are their own different thing. Like, that is its own headache. You have a lot of potential there, but I'm not so sure you can reach all your potential with Jerry having, his head over your shoulder with every little thing.
Yeah, he certainly rules with an iron fist, if we want to continue with that analogy. But yeah, I think, man, that'd be tough. I might rather be in charge of the Panthers, just because losing in Carolina is a lot easier than losing as the Cowboys, because the Cowboys fan base is rabid, and you'll hear about it to such a higher extent.
But like, I don't
Jones will go on the airwaves and call out radio hosts.
I don't think Cowboys natures be like, I don't think this year they've really been on the coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been
on Jerry Jones more.
They've been more so like on Jerry. So that's a little bit different. Plus the taxes in Dallas. I'm taking Dallas. I don't care.
Will the taxes be that bad in Carolina?
I mean, it's no state tax in Dallas. So
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm taking that. I'll take that. That's fine and dandy. Nope. Mm-mm.
That makes decisions easy. All right, we'll throw it to break. Don't go anywhere. Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El. We'll talk some Husker football on the other side. Talk to you guys in just a little bit.
Across Nebraska, voters will have the chance to end the current government abortion ban. The government shouldn't be making decisions for families' health care, but right now they are. Ending the ban takes 2 votes. A vote against 434, the first initiative, and then a vote for 439, the last initiative. It's only this combination that will finally get the government out of the personal medical decisions of Nebraska families. Voting against 434 and for 439 ensures that when there's a medical emergency, it's Nebraska families who decide what to do, not the government. This vote against 434 and for 439 makes it so our Nebraska doctors can treat every patient. The government put this ban in place, stripping Nebraska families of their freedom, but you can end it with 2 votes. The first against 434, and then vote for 439. Paid for by Protect Our Rights.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of health care, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Hi, this is Investigator Joe Villamonte with the Lincoln Police Union, asking you to vote for Carolyn Bosin for legislator. As a prosecutor, Carolyn Bosin has always supported law enforcement to keep our community safe. Carolyn Bosin has the experience we need. Carolyn Bosin is the only choice for legislator to keep our community safe. Join the law enforcement community in voting to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bosin on November 5th.
Paid for by Bosin for Legislature.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
The electrical workers of local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today. The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street. Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Demorne Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back into Don't Punt Hour. Switching gears here, we're going to talk some Husker football and more just around the land of college football in particular. We're getting closer, seeing some of the projections for the 12 teams that will be making the cut for the playoffs, at least as we see it right now. But before we do so, we'll bring in Roberto off of YouTube, and I agree with him. Not going after a running back is going to haunt Jerry longer than Dak's contract.
He don't care. He don't care. Clearly, he thinks, he has a philosophy. He has a way of doing things.
His philosophy sucks.
Their best bet is they better, I don't know if they tanking to get the kid out of Boise, but you better be, at least probably top 12, top 15 to get him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost looking at my Bears like Genty up in Chicago.
I mean, you got Swift. Swift ain't terrible.
No, I'm just getting greedy. I just think we need Shane Waldron.
And they paid him. So, I mean, he's there for another year at least. They just paid him, I think, like $40-50 million.
To be fair, Swift's been playing well. Swift has been playing well.
A rookie, that's what Jerry's going to do. He's going to go draft a top running back. You got him for the next 4 years. You need you a bell cow, kind of like how when Zeke was drafted, it changed their whole offense and everything like that. And I'm not saying that Agenti is Zeke, but you need something of that magnitude to move the needle or to help your offense move or whatnot. He not going. Jerry don't like paying people. Well, he doesn't mind paying people. But nah, he gonna grow his own and then be able to point to that and be like, yeah, that was me. The same thing like how you doing with CD.
Yeah, the Ezekiel Elliott story too is just bizarre. That I mean, trying to get him back in there. The morning, I know you've been watching the game. I'm curious. Break it down real quick. Cincinnati scored. How'd they get the ball back?
It's on. They're talking about Burrow's thumb right now, so I can't really see exactly what it is or who has the ball. I think Baltimore had the ball last.
Okay, maybe I'm just seeing it wrong. But
they scored. No, it's 7-0. I wasn't paying attention to how they did score actually. Next break I'll figure it out.
All right, Bengals up though, 7-0. Important to know if you're out there listening on the road. The Bengals do strike first. But I want to ask you about just underrated backs in the NFL before we wrap up on some Husker football here. Give me the backs in the NFL that just aren't talked about enough. And one from firsthand experience, even last year I said this, James Conner for the Cardinals. Oh my Lord. That guy has been phenomenal, not just this year, but when he's healthy, he's one of the best running backs out there. I don't care what you say. That guy is unreal.
You can say him. Josh Jacobs, I think he looks phenomenal. Like he gets talked about a little bit, but nothing too crazy.
Shame on the Raiders. Still, seriously, what the hell were they doing getting rid of Josh Jacobs? He was the only lining of hope you had because you couldn't get Adams the ball. At least you can hand it off to Jacobs, and he was still doing damage with an offensive line that was not doing him any favors.
What's the running back out of LA? Williams, Kyron. I think it's Kyron Williams.
Oh yeah, Kyron Williams. He's been phenomenal.
Man, he is putting he reminds me of Cam Akers, like that second and third year where he kind of like bust into the seam and kind of turn things up. He has that type of potential. I think he's been an excellent addition out there, and I mean they've been doing it without Kupp, without Puka for a little minute, so you kind of narrow the search, but I mean, with them back, I think, his numbers will climb back up.
I'll throw Montgomery out there simply because he doesn't get the major snap load. It's kind of a split back room. When he's got to be one of the scariest backs to go out there. Like when you think of the hard hitting backs, obviously Derrick Henry, and rightfully so, is number one. But Montgomery, Gibbs, both those guys are just terrifying physical runners that if you're a corner or safety and you got to make a downhill tackle on those guys, good luck. I mean, they're strong and they're shifty.
Yeah, for sure. I think the number one underrated back to where people aren't talking like about him how they should and what he's been doing for a number of years is crazy. Like, yeah, he's good, he's nice. But Alvin Kamara, with what they have down there for the Saints, whether it's good, bad, he's always been, the consistent. And if you put him and McCaffrey's numbers side by side, I think he might edge out McCaffrey or they're tied. But it's crazy that he's not talked about a lot more with what he's been able to do. He might have a spotlight here and there, but especially with the running back stuff, like Derrick Henry was talking about stuff, McCaffrey was talking about stuff, Saquon, but honestly, like Alvin has been a catalyst of kind of jumping things off along with McCaffrey. Of course, you have the Saquons that did what they did. I'm not saying that, but he's been a silent assassin with things, and you haven't been able to stop him. He's been healthy. Hopefully nothing bad or anything comes, but I don't think the community, the writers, the reporters appreciate what he's been doing enough.
I agree wholeheartedly. Now 5 minutes left. Give me the number one back you're gonna pick, and I'll do this in an order. And we're not gonna go through all these backs here. I'll go just ones off the top of my head. Josh Jacobs, or we're not gonna throw because this is not fair. Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
Healthy McCaffrey, he's just so versatile. That's what makes Saquon so damn good too, though. Is they're kind of similar in how they
both have had injuries. Like you're seeing what Saquon can do and everything like that. I just want to see it more. Like I've seen McCaffrey hurt and still come back and still look the same. Not to say that I haven't seen with Saquon, because I know he was hurt and everything like that. It's just different. I like what I'm seeing from him, but I'll just take McCaffrey.
All right, McCaffrey, Derrick Henry.
You shouldn't have started off with McCaffrey first, then.
Those are the three backs that I feel like come to mind when you're trying to pick the best running back in the NFL.
I would take Derrick. I would say Derrick just because of health. Like he hasn't been injured or anything like that. What he's been able to do is crazy. So I mean, you're not wrong with anything, but I would take Derrick.
I think that's
and it's close. That's a hard one. It's close.
I go Derrick Henry, McCaffrey, Saquon. Like those are the three backs in the league right now where they're worth paying the premium. The Giants are learning that the hard way, I think, still of like what.
I mean, you can squeeze Joe Mixon in there. I'm not saying on that level, but what he brings to the table and everything like that, what he's done down in Houston, when he's there playing, Houston looks completely different. And when he's not there, and I mean, they don't have, their weapons on the outside, so they're not, operating under at full capacity. But, when they come back into it, I mean, it's going to be something different. But Joe, I think, has definitely kind of put his stamp on, you need to pay attention to me as well.
Yeah, and again, I don't put Josh Jacobs on the same hierarchy, but the reason why I said his name is like when you have backs that are that versatile, that have like sure hands, that are great at finding the open spot, just being that release valve for the QBs, and on top of that, be a dynamic runner who can run in between the tackles and still be a threat on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I like guys like Josh Jacobs, is because that opens up the playbook a lot.
For sure.
For that OC. When you got a running back who is a threat everywhere he goes, whether you're putting him on a wheel route, or you just got him run straight through the gut. So that's why when it comes to the Raiders, when it comes to the Giants, I don't feel any sympathy for those guys trading what you have in great potential running backs. Like if it makes sense, sure. But I mean, remind me, what was even the Josh Jacobs deal? I don't think they got a lot for it.
No, but I think it was like a 1-year deal to kind of prove it type situation. You're a playoff competitive team, and it benefited, him coming to where they got good quarterback, decent offensive line, and weapons around to where he can, rewrite the market, after that 1 year, but it wasn't anything crazy. I mean, it might have been like, 1 for 15, 1 for 18 or something like that, I think. Or a 2 year for 30 mil deal, which I mean, still you making $15 million a year. Not complaining.
I just feel like that's one where the Packers got to be incredibly happy with. They got a young roster that's clicking.
I mean, you got a guy within a year or two. He was gonna own all of the Raiders rushing leader stats. Like you have a prime premium back for the next 5 to 7 years probably. And with a young core, young nucleus, and everything like that, I mean, why not gamble?
Well, especially with what they're playing with there. I mean, you got to take a risk somewhere.
Got to.
Otherwise, you're just going to be okay with being bad forever. And when you have Devontae Adams on the team, clearly you're playing for something. So like that's one where I don't get it. Like if you're gonna sell out, don't do it quietly. Just sell out. Rip off the Band-Aid, make some good deals.
Bet the house.
Kind of whimper. Exactly. When you're kind of whimpering out the back door, you're typically just going to slowly bleed out, and that rebuild is going to be a monster. And I feel like that's where the Raiders are right now. All right, I did promise it. We'll talk some Husker football. We're saving it to the end because there's only so much we can talk about with this program. But during the bye week, I mean, to you, what is the major thing that had to be taken care of this week? Because when we get to Monday, it's serious film time where we're prepping for USC. I'm sure they have already. But if we're going to go out and win this game on the road, what should have already been accomplished by the time Friday ends?
I think one, understanding like the intensity of the seriousness of things, like understanding, I don't want to say they're babying them, but understanding, the way that the last couple of weeks things have gone, it can't happen like this for this many time in a week and everything like that. Understanding your assignment, like it's not just, oh yeah, I got it in practice. No, get somebody else in there, and I don't want to say challenge them, but okay, you're not doing what you're doing. All right, bet we got somebody maybe not as athletic, he maybe not as big or as strong, but he's gonna do it right. Mm-hmm. So I think understanding what is the goal, what it's supposed to look like, and there's no, there shouldn't be any questions. There shouldn't be anywhere. I don't know. The energy should not be there because you rested or whatnot. So now it should be revving it up. You understand what it is. There's no holding hands. There's no same speech and everything like that. Break a clipboard. I don't care. Break a window. It needs something. Needs to change. Light a fire to where they can see. Oh, you're not playing. This is, I can't just chill or whatever. You know what I mean? Y'all are getting played. Y'all in college. You know what I'm saying? Turn it up a bit.
What were your bye weeks like?
I mean,
you guys probably got to be a little more physical too. The rules changed so much even in the short time.
We put our pads on and everything like that. We did a lot of stuff fast, a lot of stuff at full speed and everything like that. With Bo and whatnot. He wanted to get our work done, but he didn't necessarily want it to like drain us and kill us and the long over. He didn't want to necessarily overkill. So it's like, look, it's on y'all. If y'all bring the intensity and look how it's supposed to look, we can keep on. Or if you not, we're gonna start over and until the intensity is right. All right, the ones you got 4 plays, the twos you got 2 to 3 plays, and everybody else you might get a play or nothing. And, we cycle through, with Riley and everything like that. It was a little bit more relaxed early on, but it was more so heavy mental days. A lot of walkthroughs, a lot of jog throughs, understanding assignment, understanding what things are and whatnot. A lot of getting back to the basics of stuff. This is what we want to do. Extra film study, extra understanding of, deep dive of things and everything like that. That way, when we get back to the actual game week, there's no thinking. If I got a corner, is he a patient corner? Is he an aggressive corner? Which hand does he like to punch with? Does he kind of wait and guess which way? Does he like to beat you away, so you overanalyze, our coach, at least I know my receiver coach was, overly thorough, asking us different questions, giving us different scenarios of understanding certain things and everything like that. And not just, the number one guy, the two deep everywhere, the slot guy. If we playing 12 and you hurt, putting more pressure on us to win, we get in the game. Like, it doesn't matter, we got all scenarios, and it's no thinking.
How confident are you that when we get out of this bye week, those lessons are going to be learned, where we can go play and not think and shoot ourselves in the foot mentally, which feels like been the problem for the Huskers, that they can show up with confidence on Saturday, even if the game gets tight?
I think I'm very confident. We've played in close games. We've been in both, winning and losing close games. So it's not anything that we haven't seen. It's more so of assignment, success. So you go out there, it's probably going to be a lot of players that might have not came from the West, but a lot of players, playing at the Coliseum, playing SC. A traditional blue blood type of thing that gets, excited and everything like that. Because some of those kids on that roster, will go on to play in the NFL and everything like that. You out in LA, good weather and whatnot. So I think, and you rested, you catered to, injuries, licked your wounds. You've heard things. So now you're just irritated and pissed off. So I think it's a high of them going to go out there and handle stuff. You brought people in there. You got a whole week of, the analysts to assess and kind of help you get out of the funk or not even get into the funk, to kind of keep you on track, which I think will help the offense. Because that's all it is. You just need to get on track. Once we get on track with things, then it's off to the races.
Yeah, we've seen that when the run game's clicking for this Nebraska team, that all of a sudden this offense starts to open up. But it usually takes a couple big, not even big runs, but just enough to make it 2nd and 3 or 2nd and 5, as opposed to sitting there 3rd and 9, 3rd and long.
Mm-hmm.
And what this game gives me hope is that Nebraska can play the role that every other team's been playing for Nebraska, of coming into Memorial Stadium and kind of understanding, even if just the past few years of Husker football, you can suck the life out of the stadium if you punch us in the face early, because the fan base has just been burned so many times before that that here we go again mindset gets that quiet, silenced pretty quickly if you're able to punch Nebraska in the mouth. And that's exactly what would happen in UCLA. Memorial Coliseum is going to be the same way. Those fans, I mean, if you look at Lincoln Riley, the seat's getting hot. The win-loss record is getting worse the longer he's
and
there.
You done had a Heisman candidate.
Yep.
Probably one of the more decorated, quarterbacks within a year to come out of that program and everything like that. I told you USC wasn't. I thought people were thinking that Oregon's success was going to be SC, and I completely didn't see that at all. I didn't see Oregon being this successful, but I thought they would definitely have some success. But like I said, you punch SC in the mouth and make it a physical game. We've seen that with Minnesota. We've seen that with
Penn State the week after.
You know what I mean? So they are choke artists. So somebody's got to drop one. Why not them? They're gonna be comfortable. They're gonna be home. You know what I mean? Like I said, so it has the right ingredients to make it what we need to make it.
That's where I'm at. Like, this is their ship sinking just as bad, if not worse.
Worse.
So we can go in there.
Worse.
I agree. The record is worse. They need 2 games to go for it. We need 1.
Offense can't save you. Like, it ain't, they are a championship. What have you kind of done for me lately? You ain't win no Pac-12 championships. You ain't win none of those. No playoffs. No national championships. Like, yeah, the I don't care how much they paid you. Clearly, they money's not an issue out there. So count your blessings.
Well, that's why this game's interesting. Lincoln Riley needs this win over Nebraska to keep his job alive.
We don't need it. We need it.
Hey, well, that's just it. We need it more than you, buddy. Believe me. If he does Nebraska wins this game. Best case scenario. Lincoln Riley, like, is he cut? Is that the calling card for him or the curtain? Not saying to fire him on the spot that day, but they start making moves as they get close to the end of the season.
It could potentially be depending on how bad it is. Depending on how bad it is, you went toe-to-toe and was up, 20 points at the time, the number 3 team in the nation, and you come back and lose. That's a brutal one. You lost to Minnesota. That's a brutal one. Like, you know, I think the rope is getting shorter and shorter from pulling his seat. If it's a bad, terrible loss where you get embarrassed, it could be. If it's kind of a close 10-point, like you played well, just, you know, execution or something like that, maybe not adjusting to the Big Ten. You know, they might give him some grace with some things.
Let me ask you this final thing: any panic at all? The current odds is USC, and why they really do need to win this one if you're Lincoln Riley to save your job is they're calling not a blowout, but a pretty significant win. They got USC favored by 8.5.
That's crazy.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I don't
That's
know what their record gives you that confidence.
I mean, Ohio State was closer than that, and Ohio State will take SC's lunch money for the whole week.
Yeah, the spread for Ohio State was 24.5.
So coming off of, is SC on a bye week too?
I believe USC is also on. Yes, they are.
So I mean, you give Lincoln Riley some time. I don't think 8 points will be like that for. We seen what happened with UCLA. UCLA jumped up to 21-7, still came back, you know, and lost. And I think SC is definitely a better team than UCLA. So I don't see how they got 8.
I agree. 8.5, way too high for me. That's a ship that's sinking worse than ours. So I have a hard time seeing why you get the 8.5, but nonetheless, Nebraska will get the opportunity to play the underdog here because that is what the spread is. Good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate it as always. We'll do it again next week. We don't have to worry about the Huskers winning or losing because they got a bye week. Be sure to catch us again next week on Monday. Kyle Perry Uncut up next.